What possible mistakes can you make when using a PR firm? John Houle is the president of JH Communications, and welcome to the Language of Business.
Well, thank you for having me, Greg.
What mistakes do people commonly make when they employ you to help them?
If you've been following the news lately, which I'm sure you have, I think sometimes the client can make a lot of mistakes. So sometimes they don't follow the advice of their public relations firms or their counselors, and when they sometimes make mistakes, they don't quickly correct them and tell the truth.
What's the difference between a PR mistake and a crisis?
Well, I would say a PR mistake is something that you could easily just go in and ask for forgiveness for. You make a mistake, you admit to it, and people give you forgiveness. I would say the crisis is the culmination of multiple mistakes where you don't ask for forgiveness and then it blows into a full-blown crisis.
And what happens when people are in deny mode?
When they're in deny mode, they sometimes go into this bunker mentality and they don't want to accept the truth, or they believe their own spin and their own alternate reality. And usually that's where we then go into crises and make even more mistakes.
How do you walk the line between wanting to keep a client versus being brutally honest?
I think a good public relations counselor has to be brutally honest. That's their job. Tell the client to be honest, get the right messages out. Oftentimes, we're the one that has to protect the client from themselves.
What is your single biggest piece of counsel for people engaging a PR firm the right way?
Tell them the truth. Be brutally honest with them so that when you put them out there, if they're actually the front person and you haven't given them all the facts, when they are then out there and get burned, that's even worse.
What are the most common mistakes you see?
Common mistakes I often see are, one, they don't tell the truth, okay? Two, usually the mistake people make is they have multiple people speaking and there are conflicting messages that end up result. You want a one coordinated message to go out there.
How forgiving is the general public?
Very, very forgiving. I mean, we all are basically good people that want to give forgiveness. So it's hard, though, for clients to understand that. They usually want to bunker down. There's this whole former attitude of spin and, get your message out there. But usually I think people are generally very forgiving, and you should just tell the truth. What our parents used to say, tell the truth. It's really not that hard.
What advantages do small firms have over their bigger versions?
I think the real answer to that is who you select as your public relations counselor. So you can select a public relations counselor from a small firm or a big firm. It's really the person you choose. In a big firm, you may be relegated to a backbencher or mid-level, whereas in a smaller firm, you may get the principal who has vast experience.
What mistakes can a client make when choosing a PR firm?
Sometimes a client may choose a public relations counselor that they've read their name in the paper handling other issues and other possibly crises. Sometimes that's not a good thing, because usually if you hire that person, everyone associates them with negativity. So now you're associating your brand and your company with the same spokesperson who's handled other controversial issues. So sometimes having the most popular crisis manager isn't always the best person.
What mistakes have you made as a PR firm over the years?
Sometimes I've gotten into the habit too of spin. And I think that's a common thing in my business. We want to get our clients' message out there, and we get a little clever and want to put a certain spin on things. And I think it's, in this day and age, especially with the internet and the way things are in the 24-hour news cycles, you can't spin anymore. It's a matter of people are going to find out, they're going to see that you're trying to be clever or cute, and it's going to be pretty transparent that you should just tell the truth. I also remember when I was a younger public relations person, and I remember a client I had was on a show like this, and during breaks I would go and whisper in his ear, and he said, "Don't do that. I don't want people to think that you're telling me what to say." So that was a mistake I made.
With all of the social media options available to you, which would you recommend the most during a problem PR period?
I think Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I think there probably should be a coordinated effort to sit down and think about the message that you want to say. And the other thing too is when you're engaged in social media like that, you need to be on it all the time. So that's how that type of social media works. Expect to put your message out there and expect to be responding pretty much 24/7.
How much repeat business do you get in terms of helping clients through crises?
Usually, that's not the mainstay of my business. The mainstay of my business is more making sure that the public relations message matches the advertising message. Someone's newly hired, a new product comes to market, a new office opens, and there's a whole approach to announcing that in the media. But what I've seen is if you handle people during a crisis, your name gets out there and other people will come to you and they'll come back to you if you told them to do the right thing. Tell the truth, have that one coordinated message, speak clearly, concisely, one, concise message.
John, thank you.
Thank you.
John Houle, president of JH Communications in Providence, Rhode Island.